Okay. I like it. I mean, I do. I think it was a great idea. Uh, I have to be strategic when I answer this question because I've met with a lot of people, some who were very instrumental and responsible for bringing that development to North Augusta. And I've also been let in on some privileged information that I'm not supposed to repeat at this juncture. But it definitely has not gone the way that it was planned, of course. I came in on one side, okay, it's looking like they may need to do something different with this thing as far as the funding that's been allotted to go there. We need to redirect it somewhere else in the community. That's where I came in at. After having met with individuals like the former mayor, the current mayor, city administrator, things like that, we don't have a choice. We got to complete it. It's got to be done. And we have to get businesses down there that are going to do what they said they're going to do. One of the issues that I'm really concerned about, especially being a business owner in the city of North Augusta, how do we get here? We got a lot of regulation and developmental codes and restrictions that kind of prohibit this type of situation happening in our city. So, how do we get here? And how do we get here on this magnitude? You got a lot of developers that just simply did not fulfill their end of the agreement.
Well, elaborate on that if you don't mind. As far as developers that have not fulfilled,
right?
You're talking about Riverside Village.
Right. So you got the baseball stadium. You have the empty parcels that are there, the parking garage, and we kind of get into. I can't really go into that. But I mean, everybody knows that there's property down there that has gone into foreclosure. There's property down there that has sold due to unpaid taxes. So the city is literally hanging in the balance, waiting to see what happens if these individuals actually do come through and do what they were supposed to do. And we're just in a waiting period now.
Why do you think they did not continue developing those parcels?
That I sincerely cannot say. I don't know why they didn't do it. I don't know if it was budget. I have no idea. I don't think it was related to the pandemic. Some of this stuff was going on prior to. I'm certain that the pandemic didn't help it, so it could very well be anything. But at this juncture, as a city, we have to do something to move forward because we've invested so much into it, and then the possibility to make profit off of it in order to grow the city even more, we're missing out on that part as well.
What would you like to see be built on those?
Okay, so I have an idea. I think most importantly, we need to speak with the residents down there, primarily the property owners down there, and of course the individuals who are renting down there as well. Definitely restaurants, that's something that North Augusta has been screaming about since I was a kid. We need table service restaurants. We don't have any, so definitely restaurants, more attractions, more family-friendly attractions. The baseball stadium is great. Everybody doesn't like baseball, but still, it's a beautiful thing, even if you just go to enjoy the concessions. So more family-friendly events. We had the amphitheater coming, so I'm certain there'll be more concerts and things like that. More attractions for kids, of course. Maybe like, not necessarily like the fair when you think about, the Columbia County or the Richmond County Fair, but maybe like, a Ferris wheel, amusement rides and things like that that bring more family-oriented events down there.
You said something about regulation in North Augusta, that there was too much. Did I hear that?
Well, I didn't say there was too much, but it kind of ensures that nobody just shows up with a business, they're here today and gone tomorrow. It kind of makes certain that type deal doesn't happen.
So
now,
are you saying that there are regulations that you would change?
Well, the regulations are actually being changed now. There's a survey that's going out. I think it was over, January 10th or maybe the 15th.
What type of regulation are we talking about?
There's a lot of different regulations as far as location. You have the historic regions of the city where you can't, do certain things or have certain type of businesses there. And they're revisiting a lot of that as far as the city is concerned. That was prior to the election as well. So I completed the survey myself. I know a lot of people in the city that have completed the survey. So they're kind of weighing the options to see what the people in the city want and then what's going to work best for the council. And I'm assuming fuse that together to make everybody happy.
And I'm backtracking a little bit here. You had mentioned the money that was spent on Riverside Village. I assume you're talking about the bond on that, and yet you would have liked to have seen that spent elsewhere in the community.
Well, not necessarily. Like I said, coming into it, it seemed as though, okay, Well, perhaps all the funds are going there. Having met with certain individuals and seeing, okay, so this is what this, okay, all making perfect sense now. It's got to be complete, regardless how much money we put in, like we have to finish it because we're in too deep right now.
Okay, I understand what you're saying now. When they initially built all of that, they had to declare that area as blighted.
Mhm.
Do you agree with that decision to take that route in order to get the funding for it?
I think okay, let me say this. When it comes to, because I don't want it to seem like I'm coming in total opposition of everybody that currently sits in power. I sincerely believe that each and every individual on our city council, our mayor, planning and development, I sincerely believe that they have done what they feel is the absolute best option for the city. And so I do think that they made the best decision, and I do think they did the right thing in that capacity. Yeah.